going to bring in now Brian Marshall, who's with Broadpoint AmTech. He's on the phone with us, a Bloomberg top-ranked analyst on Apple. Brian, what do you make of this? It sounds like good news to not have enough product to get out to those new consumers overseas.
Sure, thanks. I do think it is very good news, ironically. I do think that the demand for the iPad is demand is very positive, and the issue is supply. We're currently in a supply-constrained environment, and so I think this is actually a positive sign for what's going to happen here going forward in the iPad business.
So, what does it mean for you as someone who follows the company and makes decisions as to their stock? I mean, the Apple stock price at a 52-week high. We've already seen a year-to-date run-up of more than 16%. Do you continue to buy?
I think so. I personally think that Apple is the best technology company on the planet. I currently have a $280 price target. I think they're going to exceed consensus expectations for the March quarter when they report next week. And I think they're pushing out some revenues here by delaying this international launch of the iPad by a couple weeks. So I don't think this is anything negative at all. In fact, it probably helps their earnings growth down the road.
Yeah, we're looking at a more than a percentage gain so far in today's session. Is there a chance here that we're making a bit too much of this as a data point? I mean, it seems good to have more demand than supply, but is this really that significant, that much of a needle mover for Apple?
Yeah, I agree. At the end of the day, this really isn't that big of a deal. I think this will be much more important when we move into calendar year 2011, and the incremental recurring revenue stream associated with Apple's content sales that they get. I mean, they get 30% of anything that's sold on the iPad, iPhone, and iPod Touch via the iTunes or the App Store. That's going to translate into some pretty significant EPS, and that's not in anybody's model today. So I think that's going to be the real thing that we should focus on next year. I think this couple-week push-out from an international launch is not that big of a deal, in my opinion.
Not that big of a deal. It sure is helping the stock so far today. What's your outlook there on share price?
Yeah, I have a $280 price target today for Apple. I think that is conservative, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Apple reach $300 later this year and potentially become the world's second largest market cap company. They're currently the third largest. If they became number 2, they would leapfrog Microsoft. So that would be pretty interesting to watch. So
you're not taking any money off the table on this at all?
Definitely not. I have high conviction in Apple here as my top pick, and I think they're going to perform well when they report next quarter.
All right. Thank you so much. Brian Marshall joining us from Broadpoint AmTech.